You're gonna face Charles Rosa, UFC Boston. It has only been like actually it's only like exactly 2 months, almost two
Mhm.
months since your last fight. Like there was a lot of controversy surrounding your last fight. Let's talk about that UFC 241. When they changed the bout to a catchweight bout, people online went nuts. They were just like, "What is going on?" Right? Did you
Yeah.
did you look online? Before or after the fight?
A little bit. You get stuff sent to you, and you see all this
Mhm.
stuff, and like I and I know what the reaction was, and how people took it, but that kind of stuff really doesn't like I just read it and then I just like keep going on with my life. So I read it and I didn't really think too much of it, but I did see that some people are going kind of nuts about it.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that, this is a competition. Every
Hmm.
part of this game is a competition, right? Even like
Yeah,
cutting weight is a competition, right? And
yeah,
you have to gain the advantage. And now that you don't have to cut that much weight, you know what I mean? Do you feel better in this camp? Do you feel like you still have those advantages?
yeah. No, I mean, weight counts one of those tricky things where you have to balance the line of you want the advantage of being bigger, but like, are you going to deplete yourself? Are you going to kill yourself just trying to make that weight? Um, I think with either way that you go about it, whether you decide to cut less weight and feel better, or if you decide to cut more weight and then just be the bigger guy, like you got to work to your advantage. You got to work to your offense. So maybe you cut less weight, but then you're the smaller guy, but you're the faster guy. You have the better cardio, or whatever it is. Um, so with this fight, I think I'm just gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on being, because I'm still, in tune with the other 45ers. I'm still a good size 45er. So I think it was just a huge 35er. So now I'm just gonna, focus on the other things. Focus on my fighting skills. Focus on my speed. Focus on, just how well I'm gonna feel in there. Now I don't have to cut so much weight.
Of course you have Charles Rosa in your, near future. But when you look at the featherweight division, do you see this division being more exciting compared to the bantamweight division for you?
I always really like the bantamweight division. Honestly, there's a lot of fast, explosive. They're like sharks. And they're just ruthless, relentless guys, and it's a division that moves by very quickly. I think those guys last a lot less than the heavyweights do than the higher weight guys, because you see a lot of the guys like they're the guys that have fought in Pride. You see the guys that have fought years ago at the older UFCs. They're making like resurgences, but a lot of 35ers. I mean, barring I think like a Dominic Cruz, or even 45, like a lighter weight. Like Jose Aldo's been here a while, um, but I think the lifespan, the shelf life of a lower weight guy is a lot shorter than the shelf life of a heavyweight guy. So either way, it's still interesting.
It's only been a few months, after that last fight. Was there time for you to kind of recover, or were you just like, okay, I
Oh
gotta jump right back in, because I'm gonna get on this Boston card? It was already in your mind.
no, so I mean, I helped in kind of a little bit last minute to it, but I was fresh off a fight camp. Like physically, I felt fine. I think a lot of what messed me up that last fight camp was the weight cut, and so like a lot of it was like very like mentally draining. And I think that like I didn't it was a long fight, but I didn't take any damage in that fight. So physically, I was perfectly fine. I was coming off that fight camp where honestly I felt good in the fight camp. I felt great. I felt strong, big, all this, but I think I'm just carrying a lot of that over now, and now I feel like, I felt really good that fight camp, but I feel twice as good for this one now, especially without having to worry about the weight cut. I feel less stress. I feel, um, weight cutting, you're obviously always going to have stress. Just because I'm up 10 pounds doesn't mean I'm not cutting a much weight still. So, but at the same time, like, it's a lot more manageable for me to do.
On top of that, you don't have to travel anywhere. You could just wake
I'm
up
sure in my
and
backyard,
go to the
yeah.
fighter hotel. How long is the drive probably to downtown Boston?
With no traffic, it's 20 25 minutes. It's not far at
Oh,
all. I drove by it today, the TD Garden. So I mean, for me, it's. But I do kind of like the travel, and I do kind of like
Um,
going out there and seeing all the different stuff. But it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, I'm here to fight.
Charles Rosa, he's been out of competition for like over 2 years. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, ring rust and all this stuff, but to be honest with you, it affects everybody differently. So in this fight, in your preparations, you don't have much time. So most likely you're just focusing on yourself, right? There's not really much to study about, Charles.
No, and I think it's tough too to with ring rust. Like, yeah, he could be affected by it, but at the same time, he could come back way better. I know he's been out there with a good camp, with a good school. So if he's if he comes out and he totally crooks the bed because he hasn't been in, because he gets like blinded by lights or whatever, then fine, that's all cool. But if he comes in and he's 2 or 3 times as good as he was before, then that's what I gotta prepare for. I can't prepare for him to be, like trigger shy or a little shaky. So I'm going in expecting the best Charles Rosa I can get, and then if I get the worst one, then so be it. Like I'm still gonna have to beat him.
You're coming off the first loss of your career. Has anything changed? Because I talked to Dan Hooker about,
Yeah,
losing and, losing by knockout and things like that. And he's just like, man, this is just part of a life, just part of this
yeah,
life, man. You just gotta accept it. Is that the attitude you have?
yeah. I mean, like if you started fighting right now, you think you'd be undefeated forever. Like when you wake up every morning, you expect you never have a bad day. It's just part of the game. It's how the sport is, and any guy that's gotten to the level that I'm at, that Charles is at, that Conor, Khabib, all these guys, they know what it's like to lose. They know what it's like to to fail, and like the admirable thing about all these fighters is that they have to um, deal with it, adapt to it, and then just move on. It's not something that you can lurk on and linger on and just worry about.
This fight, what kind of performance, are you expecting? Because you're facing another Boston guy, Boston on Boston violence. What do you
Yeah.
expect?
I'm a little bit bummed out because I always go fight everywhere else, and then like I'm always the out of town guy.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm finally like in my hometown, and I'm and I'm still not the hometown guy really. Like, but no, I mean it's gonna be a great performance because me and him are both from the same spot. For me and him both, it's a huge opportunity. Um, to be able to be in front of your friends, in front of your family. Uh, I've had the opportunity locally, but never at the TD Garden. I've never been able to be in the UFC in front of all my friends and family, and just go out there and have fun and fight. So for me personally, it's going to be I know it's going to be like just a crazy series of events because I used to drive by the TD Garden as a kid. I used to see all the stuff that was going on in there, and I always thought it was just a place for the Bruins and the Celtics to go play. I never thought that there'd be MMA fighting because when I was growing up, it wasn't even sanctioned in Massachusetts, and then now it's sanctioned, and now I'm fighting there too. So it's crazy.
Is the door shut completely on the bantamweight division?
No, no, I think I just gotta see how I can adjust. I gotta do some planning. Like in terms of the weight, I just gotta like refocus a little bit, reset, and then figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't think I can like make a call right now whether I'm gonna stay at 45 or I'm gonna drop to 35. It's one of those things that I gotta work on first.
Definitely, man. I would like to see you back at bantamweight.
Yeah,
Get a
yeah,
good
yeah,
win in the featherweight. Maybe fight both divisions. Who knows what could happen in the future? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you said,
I'm look,
as you grow, you make adjustments and you can fix things, that maybe you didn't feel like it was a mistake in the past, but now and then you can move on and go through that bantamweight division. You make it actually much more exciting, to be honest with you.
yeah, I appreciate that. I do think it's it's something that you gotta weigh out too because I'm very big for 35, but at the same time, I've made it before. I've made it plenty of times before. So I gotta see if it's just because I'm I'm growing up. I gotta see if it's just
Yeah.
like me being a slob. I gotta figure it all out. But hopefully one day I'll be back at 35 and see all my buddies down there.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever ran into a 35er that was bigger than you and you're like, man, how do you make 35?
uh, Bigger 30. No, but I had seen a couple of those. Like I think there was like a 6 foot one, like 135 and
Uh,
he was like skin and bones. Like he was like so sucked out. But I don't think he was like thick. That's one of the things. I'm 5'10", but I was also a lot wider than a lot of the guys I fought too. So that was kind of like that was one of the things that made me realize how much bigger I was than the other guys. Like just you know, but some of those guys are well built though. Like even like Casey. Actually, I think Casey was almost a little bit trickier to fight because he was smaller and more compact. He could like slip out of, like little situations that I
yeah,
couldn't like get a hold on him, and he had like a good little base like because he was smaller. He didn't have to like open his legs as wide to be able to like stop me from rolling him. But that's all in hindsight.
definitely, man. Well, you return October 18th, UFC on ESPN2, Boston, your hometown. It's gonna be a good fight, man. I think that this one could be one of those performance of the night type,
Yeah,
bonus
for
type
sure.
fights right here, man. Do you think it's
Yeah,
going to happen?
yeah. Well, no, I think so. I think that like I think Charles got a lot of dog in him, and I know I do
Mm.
too. So I think me and him are gonna gonna go down there and scrap, and then may the better man win.
Definitely, man. I think that this is just great matchmaking by the UFC
Yeah,
because they see the situations you guys are both in, and you guys are both
yeah.
Boston guys, and then they just put you together just because of that reason, and they
They're
want
like,
that, that fireworks,
yeah.
man.
They're like, go fight, fight it out.
All right,
Yeah,
Manny,
but
man.
no,
I appreciate the time, man. Leading up to the fight. Good luck on the fight, and everything. Good luck on everything that you're doing in your life, man.
thank you very much. Great talking to you per usual, man.